When you're overwhelmed, it's pretty easy to tell yourself, shoot, ain't nobody got time for that. In which you've convinced yourself your life is 10 pounds of crap in a 5-pound bag. And there's absolutely no way you could properly fit nutrition into it. First off, I think it's important to know that stress is important, and it's never going to go away. People operate just fine under medium, moderate, regular amounts of stress. Stress is what forces us to adapt. It acts as a motivator. It challenges you. If that's all the time, and it feels negative, then it can end up having some far-reaching consequences. Those consequences typically end up on your plate. Going out snacking, lack of planning, grazing, all sorts of funky things that really cause you to eat, and maybe you're not even paying attention when you do it. Doubly true when you just don't feel like there's enough time in the day. But I would implore you, have you actually sat down and written out your entire schedule for the entire week, from wake up to bedtime? I'll bet you $1 that there are things you'd like to do, but they aren't necessary. It is important to reconcile that you're not a robot. You're a human, and that's okay. Humans act, well, human. You can't do it all, nor should you. What do you have to do? What is your schedule? Who do you have available at your disposal to help? There is somebody. There always is. It is important to consider that if you want to make these changes and keep them, the behaviors you put into place will not be going away. You have to arrange your life around taking care of your body. These habits need to be integrated, not just random behaviors that are interjected. Nutrition and activity? These aren't problems to be solved. It's a life to live. Create yourself a schedule for one day and from wake up to bedtime, and then do it for an entire week. Lots of day-to-day tasks will be the same, but there are quite a few things you do during the week that might only be done weekly, or 2 or 3 times per week, and therefore your schedule during the week will vary. Important things to keep in mind. The first thing is that what you initially write down is either going to be super wrong, or that if you really are overscheduled, you're going to see and it'll be obvious that there's absolutely no way you can maintain it. And then when you fall short considerably, that ends up as poor behavior choices in your fitness and nutrition. So, is there stuff that you just don't have to do at all, or do less of? At least until these new behaviors are integrated. Going out to eat is actually one of those things you could do less of. Not because of the nutrition component, but because of the time component. It may seem like it's saving you time, but it's actually just saving you a little bit of energy. It's quite convenient to be served. Travel time back and forth, time to order, time to get served, time to eat. All these things are taking up time. A week's worth of food is easily prepared in an hour. And by energy, I mean physical energy, not mental energy. You're going to end up like a chicken with your head cut off later when you flip out about not being prepared for what you need to accomplish. The mental energy you think you save will always be spent in other ways. Fitness is your life, because this is a silly idealized version of what your life would be like if it were perfect, or at least if everything was scheduled out properly and it fell like that way to a T, as in if you're overscheduled and life doesn't work out perfect, it stresses you out and ends up on your plate, or you end up on the couch, or both. Both is good. Reaching your goals means you're going to need to expend time and energy, and not just any sort of regular energy, but cognitive energy, physical energy too, which consumes time in your day. But you know what I'm trying to say. If you've got 10 pounds of crap in a 5-pound bag, you can't add more crap to it. Scoop some of the crap out. Just do it. It's all good. The world will still turn. You will still make progress. Sit back and think to yourself, who in my life can help me? There is going to be a person. There are going to be people. There are. And if there is nobody in your life, then you have time. So don't give me that crap. Please. When you're trapped in a glass cage of overwhelming emotion, it's difficult to see the forest through the trees. People are there to help. People are there to support you. Use them. It's okay. It takes a village. There's a family. There's acquaintances. There's friends. There's even your neighbors. There's your kids. There's your neighbors' children. Your coworkers. These are all people that can lend you a helping hand in some way. And more often than not, people like to be involved in other people's successes. You won't know if they're willing to help unless you ask them. Sometimes that just means having some support or acceptance of your new behaviors. Sometimes it's actually something logistical where you may need a literal helping hand. It's all good. It really is. Do not be afraid to include other people in your life. Bottom line, find your daily and weekly schedule, your daily and weekly tasks, and determine who in your life can act as a support system and let them support you. So to summarize, I just want to let you know that stress will always be there. Waiting for the perfect time will never happen. In order to lower stress, you must first identify your stressors. Put a pen to paper. It's okay to ask for help. The help doesn't have to be focused on your nutrition or exercise. It shouldn't. The help is about reducing any stressor which can be delegated or managed in order for you to make space in both your day and be able to cognitively think about nutrition and exercise habits. You cannot add to an already full cup. If new habits are to be integrated, other habits need to be modulated, and time-inefficient activities need to be removed. Make time for your nutrition and exercise habits, and your return on investment will be tenfold, and you will have less stress. 2 things everybody needs.